Yo, what is up everybody? Today we're going to be doing a review on the 2021 Union Force bindings. Super excited to give you guys a review and my opinions on this binding, so I hope you guys enjoy this video. Just a quick summary of what this binding is this is Union's pretty much do-it-all binding. It'll handle park, powder, all mountain, jumps, pretty much everything you can throw at it, this binding is going to handle. So that's just one of the reasons why I chose to get this binding. So first, going up to the high back, the Union Force binding has a pretty decent flex to it. It's not super flexy on the back movement. Just kind of give you an example, I'll compare it to my old Contact Pro binding. This is the old Contact Pro binding, and this one definitely has a little more of a flexy high back to it, and it'll move backwards just a little more than the Union Force will. Another thing that I really love about the Union Force binding is how adjustable this thing is. You have plenty of adjustment on the high back. On the back heel cup, it has 3 positions to rotate your high back either this way or that way. So that's really cool. And then it has that toe pedal which can slide back and forth. Again, it has 3 positions there, which is awesome. And the other really cool thing is with the heel and toe strap, you can just adjust them with your hand. You don't need any tools for those. So if you're on the hill and if they seem like they're loose and they need to be tightened, you can just shift them around, which is awesome. And that's something that I really like about this binding. Just a quick reminder, if you guys are enjoying this video or finding it helpful, make sure you subscribe. I'm trying to hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of winter. I think it's possible, but I need your guys' help. So yeah, let's get back to the video. So on the Union Force binding, it comes with just a normal size disc, which is great because it's super adjustable and you can really dial in how you want your feel of the board to be. You can move it back and forth, which is great. Just pretty much like any other disc. It is compatible with the Burton channel. So if you do have a Burton board that has that channel system, you can still be able to ride the Union Force bindings, which is something that's pretty cool that comes on their disc. The only disadvantage that I see to having a just normal size disc is it does create a small dead zone where the board can't flex. Not a huge deal, but it is something to mention. So for 2021, they added the Exo Frame 2.0 ankle strap to the Force, which I think is great because on my previous bindings I just had the foam straps, and those, you know, they would start digging into your ankle after, you know, full day of riding. So I'm really glad that they upgraded it to the new Exo Frame strap. It just molds way better to your boot, and it just gets you a more responsive feel to the binding. So I'm super happy that they added these. I've never had the ankle straps come loose yet. I've used them quite a few times now and they've just never came loose. So straight out of the box, they're staying on really well, not coming loose at all. So I'm super happy about that because with my old bindings, the ankle strap was coming loose and I had to tighten it almost every single day. But with the new washers in place on the Force, I've never had a problem with it coming loose. So yeah, that's something that I'm super stoked about, that they switched the washers and now it's holding super well. Turn initiation on these are super good. They work super well going down hills super fast, or if you're going slow and kind of buttering around, they also work really well there. So the responsiveness of these are actually really good, and that's one of the reasons why I chose to get the Union Force bindings, is because I wanted a binding that I could take all over the mountain and into the park. So I definitely like the responsiveness of these bindings to the point where they're not like crazy responsive, something like the Falcors, but they're not, you know, super loose where, you know, it's just hard to kind of turn and mess around. So I definitely really like the kind of middle ground responsiveness of these, and they just work super well. These bindings do handle very well in the park. I've been in the park with these almost every single day I've been out on the hill, and they just handle super well. They're not the best on rails, they could be better, but as long as you get used to them, then they handle great. Once you get a feel for them, then you definitely know how to lock back onto rails and do those kind of tricks, which is awesome. These bindings really do work well going off of jumps. They take impact super well, and they just have a great responsiveness to them. So that way if you're doing spins, you can really lock into those carves and just get you grip off the takeoff of those jumps to do spins or whatever you want to do. Overall, these bindings do work pretty well in the park. Once as you get used to them on rails, then you can really lock in your tricks and stuff. So it just takes a bit to get used to since they are a stiffer binding, but they do work extremely well off of jumps, and I love taking these off of jumps, doing spins, all that kind of fun stuff. I've really kind of tested these bindings all over the mountain. I've taken them into the park, ridden, you know, some steep sections of hill, ice, all that kind of stuff. And I think these are an incredible choice for someone who's looking to put on their daily driver snowboard, you know, someone who just wants to cruise in the park, learn new tricks, or someone who just wants to bomb down the hills and shred super well. These bindings are just a great do-it-all binding, and I would definitely recommend checking these out if you want to get an all-mountain binding that can handle pretty much anything you throw at it. So I definitely recommend checking these out. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Those would all help me out so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
It's not for me to say.